In what way does God overlook prostitution? I'm not understanding this because I didn't really see the movie. I stayed for the opening credits and then I left, and then I went and got my tried to get my money back. I didn't. I got a bag of popcorn.
It's a long movie.
Yeah, well, I didn't stay to see it, but I could tell from the first intro that it was pretty ungodly, so I just left the theater. And then I told my wife when I got home, no, she cannot see it, because she had asked me earlier, honey, would you go and watch this movie to see if you will give me your permission to watch it? And I told her, I will not be happy to do this, but I will do it, and it's not something I will permit my wife to watch. No.
Okay.
So, but I hope that you at least understood from watching the movie, caller, that I'm not judging you, and I don't believe the doctor's judging you. I'm just simply saying that I think you're way off base here, and I don't want you to go to hell.
Thanks.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and call this call done. Thank you, caller. And we'll see if we can take another call in just a second.
We'll see Jonathan. We'll hear Jonathan Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to wait for another call to come in and see if we can take another caller. In the meantime, Doctor, what I'd like to know is, what is your experience with movies at all? It doesn't sound like you even go to see movies.
Well, I haven't been going to see movies lately because they just don't let people go in and see movies, just anybody, regardless if you have a degree or how your status is. They're still wanting to accept that note, they call it, with the former presidents on it.
And you find this to be in some way contradictory?
Antichrist.
And you find it to be contradictory because why? Why is it Antichrist?
Because it says in the last days you will not be able to buy or sell without that mark. So when you go up to give them that mark, this makes me feel funny.
So,
the popcorn. I like the popcorn.
Well, the popcorn for me was a way to reinforce the idea that I wasn't enjoying the movie. So I purposely got some popcorn that. Hold on a second. We've got another caller on the line. Let's see who we got here. Caller, do we have a new caller for the show?
Hello.
Yeah. Do we have a new caller for the show?
Yes.
Okay. What is your first name, caller?
Jason.
Okay, Jason. We've got Dr. Hugh Boehnerfield on the line here. We've been discussing the book Biocentrism, which is basically from the devil. We've been discussing the movie Les Miserables, which is basically a lie from the pit of hell. What do you have to say about either of these two subjects, or do you have a question for the Dr. Boehnerfield? Go ahead, caller.
I have a question for Dr. Boehnerfield.
Go ahead.
What was the school that he received his PhD from? I want to know where he gets his. It was a school in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I believe it was University of Pittsburgh. What's
University?
What's the point? What's the point, caller? Are you degrading? Are you upset that he's a Christian, or are you upset that he's a Christian and a scientist? I'm trying to figure it out here.
I do not believe that he is a scientist. I think he's baloney.
Doctor, do you want to respond to that? This is your call, man. I'm not the one being put on trial here.
I've written quite a few books, and I even have quite a few copies of my certificate of authenticity of my PhD that is from the University of Pittsburgh, but but that's an old school. Schools no longer exist because of Hurricane Sandy.
Caller?
It makes me an expert in the evolution of mankind in this world.
Fair enough. Caller, do you really have a point? What's your question? Go ahead.
I own a copy of Photoshop on my computer. I could print up a certificate saying that I graduated from a school. You're not a scientist. The points that you're making
talking Wolverine and Les, and you call yourself a Christian and you're idiots.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on a minute. Let's back it up way here. Nobody's calling anybody an idiot. That's not permitted. We're not permitted to put each other down on the show. Clearly you're an unbeliever. You're on your way to hell. You're full of the devil. That's not my place to judge you. I'm simply pointing out that you clearly have no relationship with God, and if you don't change your ways, you're going to end up in hell, my friend. And you know what? No amount of negativity is going to change that. The fool has said in his heart there is no God. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
Okay, so then obviously you have an idea of what it means to say you're a Christian. And if you were a Christian, you wouldn't be questioning the things that I'm saying because I'm a Christian.
10 times the Christian that you are.
Oh, 10 times. Okay. Look, I don't even want to get into that kind of a discussion with you because, look, I mean, you're 10 times more the Christian I am. This guy's got a PhD. You know, I'm an expert in the Bible.
He says he has a PhD. He has no PhD.
We have our own church. We have church every Sunday from our own house.
Do you have a phone, caller?
Yes, I have a phone. I'm on my phone.
Can you call my house if I give you my number after the show and you can attend church with us on Sunday through the phone?
Yes.
Because evidently he don't go to church.
Your church, your so-called church that you have on every Sunday.
Well, I wouldn't call it a so-called church. I would say it's actually a church, but I sense a lot of hostility coming from the end of this other end of the line here, and I can't figure out where it's coming from. Do you have a reason why you are opposed to, say, I don't know, being a Christian or having a Christian perspective?
I'm ashamed to call myself a Christian after listening to your show and hearing your outrageous points and your beliefs. I do not want to associate myself with maniacs like you.
Doctor?
Yeah,
Yes.
he, are you a scientist? Is he a scientist?
I'm
Are you
not
a scientist, caller?
No, I'm not the scientist.
Okay. Well, then that explains it. Right there.
I agree. I agree. Let's see if we can get another caller on the line. Caller, thank you for your time. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to see, we're going to move on now to see if we can get another good caller on the line. That caller was really more interested in denigrating the God of the Bible. What do you think, Doctor?
Yeah, it sounded like that. He was just trying to say that there was no God.
Foolishness.
And he didn't believe the truth.
I mean, right off the bat, when somebody says there's no God, the first thing I think of is fool. What do you think?
He would be foolish
Okay.
to call himself a Christian. That's what I think.
Okay, we're going to take a little break here. We'll be back in just a second.